Didn't see you there. You just caught me in the middle of a breakup. That's right, me and my physical video game collection are going separate ways. Storing all your games on a hard drive is much easier and more relieving, and personally, I can't wait to get rid of all this clutter on my desk. With my desk finally clear of space-taking game cases, I can actually put something on my desk that I've been meaning to put on, but never had the space to. How am I expected to work with all this mess on my desk? Finally, if I want to play a game, I don't have to go scrounging around looking for the game case. It will all be stored in my digital library. Gone are the days of being lost trying to find my various Kung Fu Panda games. Now that I've fully digitized my entire collection, I'm gonna go play a game. Alright, let's play Ghost of Tsushima. Digital or physical video games have been a hot topic within gaming circles, and a word that's been raging for eons. By eons, I mean one Reddit post dating back to 2014. Other media such as music or movies have also had very similar discussions, with music it being streaming services such as Spotify and the use of physical CDs. Most agree that streaming or having music downloaded is the superior option, allowing for a lot more versatility with your music. However, with video games, it's hotly debated and there is no clear-cut answer. In terms of price, both are very similar most of the time, although I do notice that physical games lower in value faster than digital games. For example, I can get a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops physically on Xbox 360 for about $17, whilst on PC I'd be paying $80, which is the exact same as a newly released AAA game. Note, this game was released in 2010. Back in the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, a lot of people were convinced that the digital market would be so much cheaper as they won't need to manufacture game discs and pay stores in order to display their game. Yep. Apparently my opinion on various gaming related topics is very important, so that's probably why you're wondering, but what does Green think? It depends on what video game I'm gonna buy. If it's something I'll play a lot or a game I'm really excited about, then I'll buy it physically. However, if it's something I'm only gonna play once, then I'll probably buy it digitally. I like buying physical games because it means that I can display them on shelves and show them off to friends, then promptly lose them because, oh my god, I'm a loser. I like the feeling of watching my collection grow and develop, adding more and more games that I could eventually sit down and play, or sit down and play with my friends that I totally have. I promise I'm cool. Back in the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, it was very common to trade games with your friends, or bring over a game that your friend doesn't own so you guys can play couch multiplayer together. That's another perk of physical video games, being able to bring them to other people's house or letting a friend borrow a game. You really can't do that with digital video games unless you plan on lugging a whole hard drive around. Hey guys, I brought Call of Duty. Hey guys, I'm a moron. There's definitely a sense of convenience when it comes to digital games, as you don't have to go rummaging around for the game case, and then swap out the game that's already in the console for the one you want to play. You simply change games from the main menu of your console. The biggest problem with an all-digital library is the storage. With a physical collection, I can own thousands and thousands of games and not really worry about storage space apart from updates and save states. With digital libraries, you have to download the entirety of the game, every line of code and every texture onto your hard drive. It can be very heavy on your storage device. Especially since games are getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. Even if you bought a 1 terabyte PS4, it wouldn't take much to max out your storage drive. You can fill your PS4 hard drive with just Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Destiny 2, NBA 2K22, Elder Scrolls Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Final Fantasy 15, The Last of Us 2, and Grand Theft Auto 5. So at any one time, you can only have around 9 AAA games installed at one time. Having bigger and bigger hard drives are also just adding into the cost of owning and installing these games. Sure, you can delete games that you no longer want to play, and install games that you do want to play. However, online game stores are not going to stay open forever, as we've seen with the Nintendo Wii Shop channel. Gone, but never forgotten. When a game store gets discontinued, it completely takes away the ability to download any games, and locks those experiences out forever unless you buy them physically. I've heard people make the argument that physical hardware will eventually wear out and die too, yet we haven't really reached that cap yet. There are only estimations. Even most Atari 2600 game cartridges still work, as do most well taken care of discs. Which is more than could be said for digital, as if a hard drive fails, you can't re-download all those games that you own. On top of that, if the console itself is broken, not again! Or it gets lost in the case of handhelds, at least you'll still have the games. All you need to do is get a new console. Some digital versions are the worst pick gaming wise, which is ironic when they're priced higher than physical games. Some games are optimized to be played both on disc and HDD, so when you just have it on HDD, it doesn't play as well. That sort of is a sign that digital versions are more of an afterthought for publishers. Recently I've gone into PC gaming and thus my game library is completely digital. However, I feel that with Steam and other game stores, it's completely different from PlayStation and Xbox's offerings. Most Steam games are really cheap these days. Most of them. And you can usually get a better deal on discount websites such as G2A and such. Even on Steam, sales are frequent and you can usually find a bargain for a lot of games, including AAA titles. Physical games can take up a lot of space. The game cases are not necessarily large by themselves, but when you have dozens of them stacked on top of each other, then it takes up huge amounts of space. So people who reside in small living conditions may struggle with finding space for shelves upon shelves of video games. Say, has this ever happened to you? My room isn't big enough for all my games, now I have to sleep with grease on the Kinect. I totally plan on buying the physical versions of digital games that I enjoy. Games such as Sekiro, Dark Souls, and Grand Theft Auto 5 are all games that I plan on buying again, as they all have a special spot in my heart, and I want to display all these games, yet the only way I can do that is buying these games again physically. In summary, physical games are my preferred choice, but that doesn't mean that they should be yours too. I personally like having a visual representation of how much of a virgin I am. It's nice to add these games into my collection, watching my library grow and grow, watching how far I've come as a person and as a person who enjoys video games. It may be cool to have a physical video game collection, but it's too hard to get up, find the game you want to play, put the game in the tray, and then get back into my seat. Thankfully, I digitalized my collection, which means I'll never have to deal with this again. Go on, put it in. I barely know her.